We've all been told to budget, to track every dollar, cut back on coffee, and review receipts like a detective. But here's the uncomfortable truth: the rich don't do this. Not like that. They don't obsess over budgets because they've built something more powerful: systems, structure, and strategy. In this video, we're diving deep into how rich people actually manage money, and why it works without living in spreadsheets. This isn't about being reckless. The wealthy absolutely care about money. But they don't micromanage every expense. Why? Because they've built financial lives that run without constant supervision. And that's the goal: not to control every penny, but to design a system where money flows intelligently. Let's start here. Wealthy people focus on what moves the needle. They don't stress about $5, they think in terms of $50,000. Their focus is scale, not scarcity. When you have margin, financial breathing room, you stop sweating the small stuff and start thinking long term. Instead of budgeting obsessively, they automate the important things. Their savings? Automated. Investments? Scheduled. Bills? On autopay. This isn't laziness, it's efficiency. The less emotional energy tied to decisions, the better the outcome. They don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems. Rich people don't track every purchase, they track metrics. Net worth, cash flow, ROI, margin. They care more about how fast their money grows than how little they spend. And they check in with their finances the way CEOs check in with their business: high level, strategic, intentional. They're also deeply aware of leverage. They don't just budget income, they multiply it. Through assets, businesses, skills, or investments. The question isn't, how can I save more? It's, how can I earn smarter? How can I build something that earns for me? That doesn't mean they don't know where their money goes. They do. But they structure their lives so money goes where it should automatically. Their priorities are built into their systems, long before emotion enters the equation. This also means they spend intentionally. They value value, not price. They ask, what's the return on this expense? They'll spend $10,000 on a mastermind but skip the $300 luxury sneakers. Because one expands their knowledge, and the other just looks good. Wealthy people spend on growth, freedom, and access. Another thing? They think in decades, not days. Budgets are short-term tools. But wealth is a long-term game. The rich build structures that compound. They invest time up front to make decisions once, so they don't have to keep revisiting them every month. Here's what that looks like practically. They automate a percentage of every dollar to savings and investments. They set spending floors and ceilings, not track every transaction. They schedule quarterly financial reviews, like a business. They use tools that give them dashboards, not stress. They invest in advisors, not apps. And maybe most importantly, they detach identity from budgeting. To them, money is a tool, not a scoreboard. They don't tie self-worth to frugality or shame to spending. They use money to build the life they want, not to chase someone else's version of success. If you're still budgeting to the dollar, you're not wrong, you're early. But the goal isn't to stay there. It's to build up enough financial momentum that you graduate from tracking every transaction to steering the entire ship. Here's how to make the shift: automate first, set rules that happen without emotion, save 20%, invest 10%, auto-pay everything else. Track growth, not guilt, measure net worth, cash flow, and passive income, not skipped coffees. Use tools, not time, use apps or dashboards that show patterns, not itemized lists. Think like a business, run your life like a CFO. What's working? What's waste? What's next? Expand your income. Budgeting is a starting point. Earning more is the multiplier. And remember, the rich don't have more discipline. They have better default settings. So if you're exhausted from trying to micromanage your budget, this is your permission slip. Stop obsessing over every expense. Start building the systems that move your money without friction. Upgrade from the budgeting mindset to the wealth building mindset. Because real freedom isn't about tracking every dollar. It's about knowing your dollars are moving with you, even when you're not looking. And that's the truth about how rich people manage money.